Chapter 42. No Place in This World. Layla's eyes started to tremble as she observed Kyle's blank expression, his ashen face, and his disheveled clothes and hair.
Don't be like that, Kyle. Let's
go somewhere. Anywhere.
He muttered. It was as if he hadn't heard her speaking.
Just the two of us. Let's go somewhere we can be happy. Come on.
He then grabbed her hand and started to pull her as he began to walk. She tried to resist, but he paid no mind as he continued to walk with long strides.
Mr. Remmer! Mr. Remmer! Look over there! Someone's dragging Layla away!
Shouted one of Bill's garden helpers who happened to be working nearby. As soon as Bill looked in the direction the helper was pointing, his face flushed with shock. He threw his pruning shears to the ground and frantically chased after Kyle. His flustered helpers soon joined him in the chase.
Kyle Esbon! Let go of her hand, right now!
Bill shouted in an angry, thunderous voice that echoed all around. By the time he caught up with him, Kyle still hadn't let go of her hand. He raised his huge fist and punched Kyle in the face. Kyle stumbled and started to fall, but still didn't let go of her hand. Thus she was pulled along with him, and they both tumbled into the rose bed.
Layla!
Bill screamed as he rushed towards her and helped her up. Her cheeks and hands were covered with scratches from the rose's thorns. Kyle's eyes finally seemed to be regaining focus. He looked with horror at the bloody scratches on Layla's face as he stood up.
Layla, are you all right? You're bleeding.
I'm fine.
She replied, calmly pushing his hand away from her face.
You're way more hurt than I am.
No, I'm...
Only then did he notice the blood trickling down from his hands and the bloodstains on his shirt. He felt a sharp pain in his cheeks and neck, but he didn't care.
I'm okay, Uncle Bill,
Layla quickly said, noticing that Bill seemed ready to approach Kyle again.
Kyle,
she said, looking at Kyle with her swollen, glassy eyes.
There's no such place.
Her lips formed into a sad, quivering smile. Her cheeks were flushed, but her voice was calm.
There is no such place in the world, Kyle. There's nowhere in this world where just the two of us can be happy.
Layla.
If you keep acting like this, it'll be really hard for me. I don't think I'll be able to stand it.
Layla, please.
So, take care of yourself. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine too.
How am I supposed to do that without you?
You should go to college as originally planned. Stay healthy and study hard so that you can become a good doctor.
She kept smiling even as she saw the pained look in his eyes. Her vision started to blur from the tears falling from her eyes.
My Kyle. My good friend, Kyle Etman. I want to see you in that light.
Kyle had started crying too. Gritting his teeth, he stopped himself from sobbing and stared at her with bloodshot eyes.
If you're doing well, I'll be all right too,
she said.
If we keep doing well in our separate lives, who knows? After some time has passed, maybe we'll be able to greet each other with smiles again.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Layla,
he said. The sobs he was holding back then burst forth. Between tearful gasps, he said,
It was all my fault. It was because of me that you... I'm sorry.
He collapsed to the ground again. Beams of sunlight shone on him like shards of glass. Quietly shaking her head, she crouched down in front of him.
No, don't say that, Kyle. I don't hold it against you. How could I?
Layla.
So, take care of yourself for me, all right? You'll do that, won't you?
Gasping like he was being strangled, he hugged her tightly. Her pristine white blouse was soon wet with his tears and blood. Bill, who had been sighing repeatedly as he watched them, couldn't stand to watch anymore, so he turned away. The garden helpers standing nearby did the same. With eyes full of resentment, Bill looked up at the blazing sun. Now, more than ever, he longed for this dreadful summer to be over. Kyle left for the capital sooner than originally planned. The reason given was that he had a lot of preparation to do in the capital before classes began, but no one believed that excuse. On the morning of his departure, Layla woke up earlier than usual. Hearing the sound of a bird cooing, she turned her head towards the window and saw Phoebe. She put her glasses on, slowly walked to the window and opened it wide. There was a note tied to Phoebe's ankle. Since Phoebe was trained to carry notes between her and Kyle's rooms, she knew who the note was from without having to look. After hesitating for a moment, she took the note and unfurled it. Layla, I'm leaving for the capital today. Like a coward, I'm going to the place that I was supposed to go with you. I'm not going to lie and say that this is the best thing for you and me. When you get down to it, I'm running away. I'm turning away from the mess that real life has become and leaving you behind. Like a coward, I'm pretending that what you said is true, that everything will be all right. I'm sorry. I'm well aware that saying sorry won't wash away your wounds, but I still want to say it. I'm sorry for the pain my mum caused you, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to stop her. I hurt you by naively thinking that everything could be fixed easily. I'm only now realizing that. But Layla, I'll be back. I'll return to you, and it won't be too late. You may be right that there's no place in this world where we can be happy together. But Layla, even if there's no such place now, I'll be sure to make a place like that for us, and I'll take you there. Till then, I'll take care of myself, just like you told me to. You take care of yourself too. Farewell, my beloved Layla. Layla slowly read the tiny piece of paper filled with Kyle's neat handwriting. The morning breeze shook the dishevelled hair from her cheek. After a while, she turned from the window and placed the note deep inside one of the drawers of her desk, before hurrying to start her morning. It was an extremely busy day. She cleaned the cottage thoroughly, not leaving a single speck of dust, and she made a lot of delicious food. After finishing lunch, Bill went back to work. Just then, a few of his co-workers from Arvis stopped by the cottage.
Are you doing all right, Layla?
Chef Mona asked, holding out a basket full of cookies and cupcakes.
Yes.
Layla replied, smiling as she received the gift.
Thank you. Why don't you come in for a cup of tea before you go?
No thanks, I don't need any tea.
Mona replied. The maids that had come along with her nodded.
That's right. We're just here to make sure you're doing okay.
Yes. You know, they say first loves never work out. I'm sure you'll meet another man way better than Kai.
Oh my, look at the time!
Mona said, cutting the second maid off before she could say something that might make Layla feel bad.
We'd better get back to the mansion. We've got to get ready for Lady Herhart's tea time.
Layla said goodbye, then carried the heavy basket back to the kitchen. She took the cookies and cupcakes out one at a time, then suddenly froze. There was a cookie with peach jam on it, Kyle's favourite. She stared across the table at the seat where Kyle had always used to sit. The days when the three of them would sit around the table were gone and would never return. All those meals where they enjoyed delicious food and boisterous conversation under the warm light of the lamp, they were now a thing of the past. After staring at the empty chair for a moment longer, she snapped out of her daze and quickly finished taking the treats out of the basket. Then, grabbing her hat and her old bag, she hurried out the back door and set off towards the forest path.
Fennel. Baby's breath. Butterfly bush.
She whispered the names of the flowers growing by the path as she walked.
Linnet. Swallowtail. Grasshopper.
She also whispered the names of the birds and insects she saw. The odds and ends in her bag clinked rhythmically in accompaniment to the sing-song sound of her whispering. She walked and finally stopped in front of a large tree growing next to the Solche River. She climbed up the tree, almost like she was hiding. Sitting on a sturdy branch high up on the thick trunk, she gazed at the blue water serenely flowing down below. The sunlight shimmered on the water dazzlingly.
Everything has been taken care of in accordance with your instructions, Your Grace,
Hessen said, after finishing a short phone call. Matthias slowly nodded, as if he understood what Hessen meant without need for further explanation. His gaze was fixed on the river visible through the large window.
They will send a telegram later today.
Hessen added, thus concluding his report. He then discussed several other topics. The guest list for the dinner scheduled the following week, Count and Countess Brandt's upcoming visit, staff hiring issues and the like. Each new topic was met with a concise response from Matthias.
I'll take my leave then, Your Grace,
Hessen said, having reached the end of his list of issues to report. He bowed and left. Matthias, now alone in the cabin, lazily walked down the steps to the first floor. The cabin was built as a sort of houseboat, floating on the water. The boathouse took up half of the cabin's first story and let out directly into the river. To cross the river, all one had to do was unmoor one of the boats floating in the boathouse and start rowing. Standing on the floor of the boathouse, Matthias stripped off his clothes and jumped into the water. As he swam through the boathouse's arch-shaped exit, the sunlight glistened on his naked body. He slowly swam, letting the current carry him. With his supple swimming technique, he looked like he was part of the river. It was only natural that his fixation on things he couldn't have would grow and intensify. He knew this to be true, even though he also knew that obtaining the object of his desire would cause it to lose its appeal for him. He knew it was no different with her. He came to this conclusion as he gasped for air. He knew it was silly for him to have gotten swept up by a fleeting covetousness, but he still graciously accepted his desire to have her, and now he could have her all he wanted. After failing to protect his first love, the boy had gone and left Layla behind. Everything in Matthias's world was in its right place, in perfect order. By the time he turned and began swimming back to the cabin, the sun had started to set. As he gazed at the familiar tree by the river's edge, his eyes narrowed. He could hardly believe it, but she was there.
Layla.
He quietly repeated her name, sending ripples over the surface of the water.
Support our Patreon to enjoy exclusive early releases of our audiobooks and help the channel grow. AudiosKoppo.